Hey, what's up guys, it's Joel from Easy Engineering and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to dive right in and talk about how I make my FM leads in Psytrance. So as you can see here, I've got a 4-bar loop of some kick and bass and some percussion. Nothing too interesting or anything, just very simple, very quick to make. If you haven't already seen my kick and bass tutorial, I will leave a link in the description down below. I highly suggest you go and check it out and leave a like or comment if you found it helpful. It's really useful and it just explains how to process your kick and bass in order to get it to quite an industry standard quality. So anyway, this is the kind of sound that we will be making today. This is solo. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we've got another instance of Serum loaded up, and we have just a normal sine wave going down. And basically what FM synthesis is it's basically two or more oscillators modulating each other through their frequency. So like if there's a low frequency oscillator or low frequency wave, the cycles between the waves are a lot slower than if it's a high frequency wave. So the cycles in a higher frequency is obviously a lot faster. So what you tend to do with FM synthesis is modulate each of those frequencies together to add or create more harmonics. The most simple way of doing it is between two sine waves. So as you can see here, we've got a sine wave open over here, and what we'll do is we'll turn on oscillator B, and it's another sine wave, and we'll bring that down. We'll bring it down by 1 octave. We'll also bring the level down because we don't want to be hearing it. We just want the signal to be passing through to this oscillator and modulating it, modulating the two. So what you're going to do here is go to this drop down menu, and you will click FM from B. So you're taking the signal from B and you're modulating it with A, and as you can hear, there's now more harmonics without it. And you can see over here with the EQ, there's more harmonics. I mean, sorry, less harmonics, more harmonics. And that's essentially what it is, what FM synthesis is. And the more complex or the different kind of waveforms that you use will obviously yield different results. But just for now, we'll be using sine waves. I have chosen to use basic WRD waveform because what we can do is you can actually have this modulating, or you can put an LFO on this to just modulate the waveform, just to add a little bit more, creativity to the sound, a bit more to the sound. So now that we have the signal passing through to A, we have the level down. We'll turn on a filter. It will be a low pass filter, and we'll have maybe these kind of settings. So the resonance just under halfway, drive about 10%, and fatness again just under halfway, like a fat sound. Then what you're going to go and do is you go to LFO 1, and you will put on a square wave LFO, and you'll have that modulating the filter cutoff. Now this is essentially, instead of writing these lead lines, this is essentially what this square wave LFO is going to be doing. It's going to be doing like imitating the note lengths that you would use to write. So so now what you gotta go and do is you're gonna have this being modulated by another LFO. There you go. So what you go and do is you go into LFO 2, and what you go and do is you can kind of just draw in, just randomly, just kind of create your own kind of stuff, see what works, what doesn't. And you'll go to your matrix, click on LFO2 and go to LFOs and get that to modulate, get LFO2 to modulate the LFO1 rate. Bring it up to around maybe 36, and that's actually pretty cool. I think over here I'll just kind of change it. See, it just what you're doing is you're making rhythms within the synth using LFOs to modulate, you know, the filter cutoff and the LFO rate that is modulating the filter cutoff. Let's go with that. Why not? Now what you'll be doing is, what I go and do next is I will put on a macro control to control the filter cutoff, so I can have more control over the sound. Bring that down a little bit. There you go. Now what you can go and do is, like I said earlier, is you can have another LFO modulating this just to get a bit more movement, more variation within the sound. Let's hear how it sounds with that. I think it's actually better to do it on this one rather, because this is the signal, this is the waveform that will be modulating this. So these kind of harmonics and frequency content will have more of an impact on this wave than if you just had this doing, you know, at a different kind of waveform. Yeah, cool. I'm quite happy with that. Then what you can go and do is you can go to your effects section and just, you know, get a bit more creative and add a bit more variation to the sound. So over here I usually go and put my dimension up to just under halfway and bring down the size just like that, and bring down this hyper. This is basically unison distortion, like spread. It just creates more width. I'm not too sure I'm happy about that, really, to be honest. Cool. Now you can affect it a bit more. You can add a phaser, you can add a delay, and, you know, just get an interesting sound. Cool. Next, what you can go and do is you will go in and record your automation. So I'm going to automate the filter cutoff. A quick tip, if you guys didn't know already, is to have this button turned on, because this is basically an overdub button. If you have it turned off and you try and, you know, record automation on the same thing, it's going to record over that, so it's going to take this note away. So let's say you had a nice melody going like this, you know, and there was a few other pieces here, but you wanted to add a few more, you know, higher notes, but you wanted to keep these notes too. What you would do is you'd have this turned on so it keeps these notes, and you can still record more without recording over this. So yeah, just a useful tip. And what we can do is we'll turn on our record. We'll make sure that this is armed, and we'll go in and record. Share it with context of the kick and bass. What you can go and do is you can just now go in and change a few parameters to taste. So, you know, just whatever sounds better for you. You can change the waveforms. You can change, you know, the filter cutoff, the filter type. You can change, you know, your rhythm LFO, I guess you can call it. And yeah, then what I would do is I would record this down to audio, with a few more automations maybe, and then you can run the audio through glitch effects plugins, more plugins, sample it a bit more, and you can just cut and paste, and you can just mix and match, and just, you know, have fun with the audio, and just try and create some more interesting sounds, and just try and get some good rhythms going with the same sound, and just affect them a bit more, and then you'll just have a lot more variation. So within the context of the mix, so like it's okay, it's sounding good, but I think just for the sake of it, I won't go into more, like I won't go in and try and get it sounding perfect, because it's gonna take a while. So I don't want to go over have this video go longer than it should. So yeah, let me know what you think of this. Let me know if this technique helps you. It definitely helps me save time, because when I try and write lead lines, it's very hit and miss for me. So sometimes I'll create a really nice lead rhythm. Most of the times though, I'm just struggling to get some kind of consistent groovy sound, or, you know, kind of rhythm going. So this helps me a lot. It saves me a lot of time, and, you know, then I can just bounce it down to audio and just affect it a bit more, have a bit more automation going, and then just try and, you know, get some good rhythms going within the context of the mix. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and comment down below. And yeah, I have found I have actually discovered a new kind of technique that's similar to this, but it just has a little bit more control over the, I guess, the variation of the rhythms and everything. So I might do a video later on showing how I do that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon.